Okay, thank you. Hey, good morning. Hopefully you're having a great day. Looks like we've got kind of a double box here, but I think that's going to work. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. It's going to be a pretty normal, average June first day of summer day. It's going to be really nice, no problems. Temperatures today topping out low 90s. That sure beats 103, 104, or 105, right? And it's all because of the soil moisture. And this time of the year when you have moisture in the soil, good things happen. Temperatures are closer to average, and more times than not, you'll have at least isolated showers. There we go. That's more like it. We'll have isolated showers. So first day of summer, it officially doesn't begin until 9:42 this evening, but that's when we have our summer solstice, and the first weekend of summer, I've got your forecast for you. All right, temperature right now, 86 degrees. Our low this morning was 78, record low 59, record high 105, set back just a couple of years ago. We had a heat wave in 2023, just 2 years ago. It was about 104, 105 for a string of days, but we're nowhere near that today. Again, your high temperature, lower 90s, around 92. Now, of course, with the humidity, it'll feel like about 100, but as far as South Central Texas goes, that's not too bad. I know it's Friday night. If you've got anything planned this evening, temperatures will be in the 80s, in the upper 80s. Taking a look at the satellite imagery, we do have some showers out there. Matter of fact, they're starting to fizzle out. These showers around Karnes County, DeWitt County, over there around Victoria as well. We've got a few showers. This is really interesting. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yes, I can. Notice where you have that real dark shade there and the cumulus clouds go away. In the wake of those showers, the atmosphere cools down, stabilizes, and so you don't have those puffy cumulus clouds. Really dramatic satellite imagery. I think that's awesome. But notice how that sea breeze is just starting to fade away. This afternoon, maybe a 10% chance of rain. It's just not good. But at least highs only in the low 90s. That's the good news. Okay, I think we got a David Bellis. He chimes in. He usually does every day. How you doing, David? Hopefully you're doing well. All right, sometimes when I'm cruising the city in a $200,000 vehicle, wow, what would be a $200,000 vehicle? Rolls Royce, maybe, I guess. I lean back and I think, if the bus driver doesn't speed up, I'll be late for work. Okay, well, that's a $200,000 vehicle. That's right, David. Funny as usual. Love it. All right, temperature 86, Seguin 89, Gonzales 88, Hallettsville coming in at around 89, Pleasanton 87. Taking a look at what's going on around the state. Let's see, here we go. We've got high pressure south of New Orleans. We've got a trough of low pressure in the lee side of the Rockies as usual. So maybe just a little breezy today. Winds out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. There is a lot of moisture there south of South Padre Island and Brownsville. By the way, if you're going to South Padre Island this weekend, I think temperatures are going to be pretty steady. Lower 80s, mid 80s, both the mornings and the afternoons. Clouds in the morning, maybe a sprinkle or a shower in the morning, and then afternoon some sunshine. That's pretty much what I'm expecting. For the most part, it's going to be a good weekend to go down there. But there will be some showers, especially in the overnight period and in the morning, I think. Just as long as it's not in the afternoon, right? All right, high temperatures today, lower 90s, around 92. Dallas-Fort Worth 95. There will be some showers across portions of the Deep South. Phoenix 108, but they've been around 115 lately. But the hottest of temperatures now is going to be across Omaha, Nebraska, and Wichita, Kansas. The upper level high is moving more towards the eastern part of the country. A lot of times when you have that kind of a pattern with the upper level high over across the eastern part of the country, that really opens up the Gulf of Mexico. I think this go around, the high is going to be really strong. And so maybe a 10 to 20% chance of a shower for most days next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometimes if there's a stronger disturbance kind of coming around that high, that may go up to a 20 to 30% chance, but that's really hard to pin down. So we'll just go with a 10 to 20% chance for just about every day next week. High temperatures this afternoon, lower 90s. And for tonight, cloud up in the morning. And then tomorrow, yeah, again, about a 20% chance of hit and miss showers, mainly miss. Heat index values, I think, will be close to 100 today for the heat index. Yeah, the computer model says 102. I doubt we'll hit that. By the way, I took a look at the latest allergies and pollen count, and this is what we've got. We've got molds at 1,230 and heavy. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at that 14-day forecast. This is what I'm expecting. High temperature today, 92. Tomorrow, over the weekend, 93. 10 to 20% chance of a shower. Rain chance is not good. But if you add up a bunch of these days and you put them together, sooner or later you're going to get rain. And usually it'll be about a quarter of an inch or so. I would suppose by the time we get to the 30th, right now at the airport we're at 7.3 inches. We'll probably end up the month 7.75, somewhere around there. We may not hit 8, but 7.75 for the month of June, that's pretty good. We'll take that and we'll run. 10% chance of shower next weekend, 93. Matter of fact, I think next weekend is pretty identical to this weekend. And then first week of July, looks like we may dry up a little bit. That's a long way out. July 4th, if I had to put a forecast on July 4th, very typical. Highs mid-90s, partly cloudy skies, and a 10% chance of a shower. I would have probably have said that on January the 1st for a forecast for July the 4th. At least that's the way it looks to me. And July 4th this year is on Friday, which is great. So we'll have a great July 4th weekend. That's about 2 weeks away. All right, appreciate it. And I've got to go run and do the noon show. Make sure and watch 4, 5, 6, and 10. And I will see you Monday. Make sure to go to KENS 5 Plus for any updates. All right. We'll see you later.